We are again with another beautiful Petrov game. Really enjoy the Petrov for both its draw ability as well as its aggressiveness. I'm able to flip that coin or flip that toggle both directions and actually play aggressive, and then in the event that things don't go my way, I can look for the draw. Usually, right? Usually that's how that works. Not in this game though. Not in this game. So I make this game to remind myself to be better, to do better. And hopefully you get to learn from my mistakes. But let's get into it, right? So we get to the setup of the Petrov here. My opponent plays the knight to c3. So this was a fun game. So afterwards, when I got to talk to him, he said he was freaking out. He said he didn't know what to do because he wasn't that knowledgeable in the Petrov and wasn't sure exactly how to take it, how to play it from here. In my opinion, from the other side, I would just play it as a Morphe, you know? I would play it as a Morphe, but hey, your opponent's down a tempo. That's the way I would do it, but like a Morphe Ruy Lopez. But, so, he plays knight out, and he plays the knight up, right? Kind of like the bird defense in the Ruy Lopez. He just throws that thing out there. I capture, he captures. I advance the pawn, trying to dislodge that knight from its home. But more importantly, my goal here is to take away his kingside castle guard for a later attack. I know that what I want to do is I want to recall this bishop to come back to a good square, either eventually to d6 or e7. Maybe I can even get it over here to c7. That's where we can launch this thing out to go attack the enemy king. That's what I'm looking for. So I want to take away his kingside castle guard and move this thing to a different side of the board to make it easier to attack. He obliges, he helps me, right? So he moves the thing to d4, which works for me. I throw the queen up, and the reason being is because I want to induce him to play c2. I want him to play c2 so that it allows me to start to pull my bishop back, reposition my bishop, if you will. So now from here I can start to bring it back here. Of course, the queen and the bishop forming that battery, looking for that mate, which I know is not going to come, but if I threaten that mate, other things will follow behind it. Here he plays the c3. I get to pull the bishop back, and it's in this moment I see him sweat a little bit. Right, he appears concerned, as if he didn't notice it before. If we look quickly, what we'll notice is he already has one d-pawn, right? Wait, he has two. If he's not careful, he'll have three. That means he'll have tripled pawns. I'll just play for an endgame. Right here, right now. Trade the pieces off the board. Trade for the endgame. That's what I'm thinking. He plays this queen out to g4, and it's a shock to me. I don't know why, but in this game, there was so many surprising moves that he had. And this was the first one. Maybe I should have seen it. I definitely should have seen it, but I didn't see it, right? So I capture. Kind of panicked a little bit here, to be honest, right? I capture there. Now I get what I want. I get these triple pawns, and I'm like, let's just play for the endgame. I can utilize my king to come out here and play hungry hippos and just take those pawns out one by one. But I capture here, right? Panicked a little bit, took the pawn. He plays f3. This is the second one of the surprising moves, because I was expecting this d3 pawn to come up. I was expecting him to push this here, not to push this one. And it didn't happen. I know after the game we talked, and he said that he was worried about if he played that d3 move, that my queen was going to get to infiltrate over here and started to force him to play moves he didn't like too much, potentially making it so he loses castle rights. But hey, that's what happened. He plays up, I castle. He captures with the queen. I did not want that to happen. I expected it, did not want it. I wanted him to capture back with the pawn. That's where I could leave my queen in a central location and simultaneously blocking him off from castling here. I play a lot of my game is towards making sure my opponent can't castle, or making sure their pieces become entombed. You know, trying to play prophylaxis, where I want to accomplish something, but I want to make sure they can't accomplish it simultaneously. That doesn't happen, no. He captures back with the queen. I pull my queen back, trying to maintain that diagonal. trying to make sure I can keep that so he still can't castle. He pulls up, and look at this. Look at the nerve. Look at this. He's attempting to checkmate me here. He's building a battery with the queen and the bishop while simultaneously developing that bishop and getting one step closer to castling. Did not like that. I brought the queen back for multiple reasons here. One, I wanted to stop him from castling, but two, I also want to make it so it's harder for him to actually develop his pieces, specifically that dark squared bishop, while simultaneously trying to rush to get mine out. So he tries to castle me, so of course I have to fight back. I can't just give him that. He pulls back, blocking me from blocking him. Blocking me from blocking him, from stopping him from castling, right? So I push pawn. I'm trying to get that bishop developed. He castles. I play knight out, trying to get developed here. And so I took a second to try to figure out what I should do. And I realized that if I pull this bishop out, I'm not going to have a good place where I want that knight to go. So I thought that if I can get the knight up first, then I won't have the congestion with the bishop. So he plays pawn up. I didn't understand this during the game, because to me it appears that he's trying to block off this square from me. I don't see till later that the queen's actually getting access to the king side, but it just seems like he's trying to block that off. And I'm like, if you block that, I can still bring the knight to the other square. Like, you're not stopping anything here. So I pull knight up. As I pull knight up, he pulls bishop back. So notice here that what we'll see is that the queen is defending the bishop. Yes? Kind of. But since he castled, his king and his queen are actually on the same diagonal with my queen. So essentially, that queen is pinned, so that bishop is hanging. He pulls the bishop back. I develop my bishop. He kicks my knight, and I happily, right? Look at this. Look at this. He's inviting me to play at that square. And I can't turn the invitation down. That would be rude. So the knight has a great outpost here, supported by the pawn, and I want to go. I want to go to the party. So of course, my knight jumps right in there. But, so I didn't see why he pushed the pawn up. I happily dropped the knight right into the hole. He takes my knight. If we look here quickly, what we'll see is that the appearance that white has one defender, one attacker, and then I only have one defender. That's what it appears. So it looks like he's going to win that until my rook joins the fight. Suddenly, the tables have turned. And now there's a problem, because now I'm introducing both of my rooks into the fray. I'm going to get that bishop into the fray very quickly, and he's going to lose his light squared bishop, which means my light squared bishop is going to play. He moves queen over, and this is what I meant. Light squared bishop gets to come into the fight now, and that's exactly what occurs. Happily, I immediately throw that bishop out there after carefully analyzing the position to make sure it wasn't a trap. I throw that bishop out there looking for this skewer where we have the bishop, the queen, the bishop, the queen, and the rook all on that same diagonal, right? Now, my opponent played extremely well, and he is not to be underestimated. In my opinion, at this point, he throws this Hail Mary. And it took me 15 minutes. I was in a 45-minute tournament. It took me 15 minutes in this position right here to come up with the losing move that I made in the game. Feel free to pause the screen, take a look, see if you can find what you should do here. There's a lot of things going on. So let me point it out real quick. There's a pawn attacking a bishop. There's a rook attacking a bishop. There is a queen attacking an undefended pawn. And there is a bishop attacking a rook, right? That's just some of the things that are happening here in this position. So I pause it I wait 15 minutes, try to figure it out, and I thought 12 moves deep into this. 12 moves deep. Unfortunately, I didn't think 13 moves deep, because 13 moves later is where the tragedy occurred. And I was using AI later on to understand more about it. And it said the difference between 1,800 rated players and 2,000 rated players is 1,800 players play off of instinct to a certain degree. They believe that they know what's going to happen, while a 2,000 player takes the time to calculate it all the way through. And that's what I did not do. So here we are, right? I capture the rook. He captures. Notice now that his queen here and his bishop are all aiming at a vulnerable square. I have to do something. I capture, thinking that I have an in-between move, thinking that I have time. I don't. King captures. I'm drawing that king closer to the center. In my analysis, I thought this was going to be okay, but as we'll soon learn, it wasn't. I play down for a check. He plays a great move. I play a great move. We're doing great. He comes up. I play another great move. I'm drawing him out, right? I am drawing the enemy kill. I'm drawing the enemy monarch into the kill box. At least that's what I think. He runs. I keep pushing. He keeps running. I think I'm good here. I think I'm closing that box, closing that net, that mating net that I'm trying to build. He plays check. I don't think much of it. I play up. And this is where my analyst stopped, right? When I was analyzing the game mentally, I was thinking, boom, I got him, it's okay. I'm going to draw the pieces back, we'll figure out something. My queen is back here, prophylaxis, right? Holding him back to the point where he can't get that rook out of there. We're going to do this. We got this. And then suddenly he plays that check, and I'm like, well, the game is over. I might as well resign now. I don't want to play anymore. I want to go home now. And I think this was like the second round. Maybe it was the third round. It was the third of 4 rounds. So I'm like, I just want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. Chess isn't for me. So I capture, and, it was at this point, right here. I'm under 5 minutes right here. So all the rest of the moves are made quickly. And remember when I said I took 15 minutes to look at that one move, which means that he had 20 minutes while I had 5. Check, back, over. Bishop comes up. I play this check. Hey, I don't even realize, right, that I'm hanging pieces now. He plays up. I play up. He takes the rook, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm going to go to the car and cry. I'm done now. But that was the game. I hope we both learned a lot from that.